Now, we turn to a brief discussion of the American court system, which operates as a dual system comprising federal and state courts. Behind me is the United States Supreme Court, the highest federal appeals court, located in Washington, D.C. After a suspect is arrested and booked, a prosecutor reviews the case facts and available evidence to determine whether to file charges. If charges are filed, the suspect, now the defendant, appears before a lower court judge for an initial appearance, where they are formally notified of the charges and their constitutional rights. For misdemeanors or ordinance violations, a summary trial, a swift, jurorless trial, may occur. Trials by a judge are called bench trials. Probable cause is a standard of proof that requires trustworthy evidence sufficient to make a reasonable person believe that, more likely than not, the proposed action is justified. Probable cause, requiring sufficient and trustworthy evidence, serves as the standard for justifying legal action. Bail, often a monetary deposit, ensures the defendant's return for future court proceedings. In about half of all states, a preliminary hearing follows the initial appearance. A grand jury, a group of citizens meeting in closed sessions, reviews charges from preliminary hearings and carries out additional responsibilities. In states without grand juries, prosecutors file any information or document outlining the charges, relevant laws, and supporting evidence. Once an indictment or information is filed, the defendant proceeds to arraignment, where they formally hear the charges and enter a plea. Around 95% of criminal defendants plead guilty through plea bargaining, a negotiated agreement among the prosecutor, defense attorney, defendant, and, in some jurisdictions, the judge, to receive a predetermined sentence in exchange for avoiding trial. If the defendant pleads not guilty or not guilty by reason of insanity, a trial date is set. Only about 2% of criminal cases go to jury trial, while the rest are either settled through plea bargains or decided by a judge in a bench trial. If the defendant is found guilty, the judge then determines an appropriate sentence. Once the defendant is convicted and sentenced, he moves into the realm of the correctional system. Once again, please read your book.